India is making America angry, not because it is provoking the United States, not because it is challenging Washington openly, but because, for the first time in history, India is refusing to play anyone else's game. India is not backing America. India is not backing China. India is not backing Russia. India is backing India. And in today's world, where every great power wants allies, vassals, and partners, this quiet independence could be driving Trump crazy. The truth is that India has always been underestimated. Most people outside the country know very little about its real capabilities. They see Bollywood, cricket, and yoga. They see call centers and software engineers, but they don't see the machinery of power working behind the curtain. Take intelligence. India has two of the most capable intelligence services in the world. The Research and Analysis Wing, or RAW, handles foreign intelligence. The Intelligence Bureau, or IB, manages internal security. Together, they form a network that is feared by adversaries and respected by allies. But here's the catch. 80% of India's intelligence focus has been consumed by Pakistan. Decades of cross-border terrorism forced New Delhi to devote its sharpest tools to the western frontier. This is why the world underestimates Indian intelligence. They think it is reactive, limited. In reality, RAW and IB have been sharpening their skills against one of the toughest asymmetric threats on Earth. And as India looks outward into the Indo-Pacific, the Middle East, Africa, and Europe, those skills are being deployed in new arenas. India's hidden hand is stronger than most realize, and this is just the beginning of the story. What makes India unique is its pragmatism. Unlike many countries that align themselves with one camp or another, India has mastered the art of walking the middle path. Think about it. India is America's ally, through trade, defense agreements, and shared democratic values. At the same time, India buys discounted oil from Russia, keeping its economy running and securing energy independence. It maintains complex ties with China. Despite border clashes, India still imports critical goods, including rare earths. To outsiders, this looks contradictory. To Indians, it is simple pragmatism. The philosophy is clear: India first. This is why America feels frustrated. Washington is used to allies choosing sides. But New Delhi refuses to be trapped in the binary of East versus West. Instead, it is weaving a web of relationships that serve only one goal: national interest. From Arctic access through Russia, to Japanese investments, to jet engine technology transfers from France, India is diversifying its partnerships like no other nation. It is not the loudest player. It is not the most aggressive player. But it is definitely becoming the smartest player on the global chessboard. If pragmatism is India's external strength, the diaspora is its silent army abroad. Consider the United States. Indians make up just 1% of the U.S. population. But in America's top graduate schools, they account for 13% of their population share. 67% of Indians in America hold a bachelor's degree, compared to just 28% of the general population. The average Indian household in the United States earns $90,000 per year. The U.S. average? Just $50,000. This is not an accident. It is the result of generations of emphasis on education, science, and hard work. And it shows in every sector. From Silicon Valley to Wall Street, from medicine to academia, Indians are outperforming almost everywhere. When people say the Indian diaspora is killing us, they don't mean literally. They mean in terms of competition and in terms of success. This quiet success is reshaping global perceptions. Because every time a Sundar Pichai, a Satya Nadella, or a Kamala Harris rises to power, it is a reminder that India's reach extends far beyond its borders. For Washington, this is both impressive and uncomfortable. The U.S. wants India as a loyal partner, but it is realizing that India has already become a global competitor. Nowhere is India's importance clearer than in Europe. The war in Ukraine has forced the European Union to rethink its alliances. The U.S. and China are locked in rivalry. Russia holds deep energy resources and a vital role in Eurasian security. And then there is India, the world's most populous democracy, a middle power on its way to great power status. For Europe, India represents economic opportunity, diplomatic stability, and a bridge to the global south. As former Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi said, Europe absolutely needs India. The EU sees India not just as a market, but as a partner in a turbulent world, a country with economic weight, military capacity, and cultural influence, a nation that blends hard power with soft power. This is why India's voice matters in global forums, from BRICS to the G20, and why even America's closest allies are beginning to hedge their bets, looking to India as a counterbalance in the New World Order. So why is America angry? Because it is not used to this. For decades, Washington expected nations to choose sides, either with the U.S. or against it. But India has broken that rule. By buying Russian oil, it shows independence. By maintaining ties with China, it shows pragmatism. By refusing to be drawn into alliances, it shows sovereignty. And yet, by working with Japan, France, and Europe, it shows that it is not anti-Western. By leading the global south, it shows that it is not anti-development. By participating in the Quad and BRICS simultaneously, it shows that it is not anti-cooperation. India is not playing America's game. India is playing India's game. And that is the real reason behind American frustration. India today stands at a decisive turning point. For decades, the global order has largely revolved around the United States and its alliances. Washington has expected countries to choose sides, either align closely with America or fall into the rival camp. That system worked for much of the post-war world, but India has always been an exception. During the Cold War, it chose non-alignment. In the 1990s, it opened its markets on its own terms, without bending fully to either East or West. And today, as great power rivalry resurfaces, India is once again refusing to be absorbed into any one bloc. This is where the friction with the United States becomes visible. Washington is used to allies who adapt their foreign policy to American priorities. India is not that kind of partner. It cooperates, it negotiates, but ultimately it makes decisions only in line with its own national interest. This is why American media often portray India as unreliable or difficult. But the reality is different. India is not against America. It is simply not beneath America. It works with the U.S. in technology defense and democracy promotion. It works with Russia in energy. It works with China in trade and resources. It works with Europe in investments. This flexibility may frustrate Washington, but it is also what makes India indispensable to the global balance. The broader picture is clear. India's intelligence agencies remain strong and active. Its economy is the fastest growing among major nations. Its diaspora is thriving worldwide, reshaping industries and building influence. And its diplomacy is pragmatic, adaptable, and independent. The United States sees this, China sees this, Europe sees this, the world sees this. India is no longer a silent observer. It is now a decisive player, one capable of tilting outcomes and shifting global strategies. So yes, India is making America uneasy, not because it is opposed to America, but because, for the first time, it is unapologetically standing for itself. And in this century, that position may prove to be its greatest strength.